Uh-huh.
just before I went on, Adam Schefter out here reporting Bill Belichick is no longer the coach of the New England Patriots.
So he out of
Uh,
here.
I said, what?
Uh,
The institution, Bill Belichick. How you feel about that, bro?
hey man, listen here. Man, that man gave me nightmares. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as a football fan, you gotta, I ain't got a hat on, but you gotta tip your hat off to him, man. Um, he's a guy who will be an icon, a legend in the sport of the National Football League and also in college as well. The man has been someone who really helped push forward this modern football, like far as style of play that you see today. And I mean, at the end of the day, the man was great at what it was that he did. He established a culture. He created a dynasty, not only for one decade, but for 2 decades. He put his imprint on the National Football League, which is the biggest league in North American sports. You see what I'm saying? So with
Word
that
up.
alone, he birthed what many people would call the GOAT, far as a quarterback is concerned, in Tom Brady, and many other individuals who later on went to become Hall of Famers as well. So I mean, you just got to sit back, salute this man. I can't wait to see him on TV. I love it when he break down football from the 40s, I mean, from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even
Yes.
to modern time, man. He has this encyclopedia Britannica of information about football, man, that whenever you sit back and hear him speak, it's just a pleasure to be able to witness somebody who's such a savant in this sport. So man, look, I didn't like your team, but I can be objective enough to say I respect what you did, man, and your imprint on this game will never be forgotten. So salute to you, Bill Belichick, man. May you ride off to the sunset and have a wonderful time after this part of your career.
I echo the sentiment 1,000 times over, man. Uh, I met Perry Williams. He was with the New York Giants back in the day when Bill Belichick was the defensive coordinator. He was at Joint Special Operations ball that me and D attended to down here at Fort. It was then Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I got a chance to talk to him, man, and just talk some real football. He's a North Carolina State great, and a story he told me. He said, "Hey, man, I came in for treatment one time, and the facility really didn't open until 7 that morning, but I wanted to get there early. I got there at 5:30, and when I did, the gym was dark, but there was somebody pedaling on a bicycle. I went up in there, and it was Bill Belichick reading a book as he was pedaling on the bicycle. This is when he was a younger cat, and he said, "Hey," he said, come on over here for a minute."
Uh-huh.
He said, "Man, I played football, little league, middle school, high school, college, and it was my second year in the NFL." He said, "Bill Belichick talked to me 30 minutes, and in them 30 minutes, I learned more about football than I had all my life." He
All
said that
my
man
life I've
was
been
that
post.
man. He said he's a savant, man. He
Yeah.
was a savant. This was when he was a DC. This is when he was under Bill Parcells, and they went on to win 2 Super Bowls
Yeah.
together. His game plan for that Super Bowl when they beat the Giants, where Norwood misses the field goal, is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The book, and I think it's like 6 or 7 pages. I saw it when I was there
Ten.
in 2010 in Canton, Ohio,
Uh-huh.
when Jerry Rice went in, him and Emmitt Smith went in that year. And man, he came up with not a nickel, not a dime, but a quarter
Quarter.
fence. And he told those New York Giants with Lawrence Taylor, Pepper Johnson, Carl Banks, Reasons, Leonard Marshall, he said, for us to win this game, we need Thurman Thomas to run for about 200 yards. So he said, we ain't going to have but 2 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 7 defensive backs. We
Look,
want them. We want to invite them just to run. We don't want
uh-huh.
Kelly to throw it. Just let them run. Let them run. Let them run. Let them run. Cut the field down and let's stop them. Because at that time, and I know a lot of y'all are younger, at that time, the machine gun Kelly for them Buffalo Bills was putting up, and y'all can look it up at the time,
Don
this is
BB
1990, about they
Reed
was doing about 35 points a game. And that
for
air
sure,
attack was
man.
real. But Bill
Yeah.
had a plan for him. He had a plan for him. Come up and knock the living snot out of him. Just come up and knock the living snot out of them. Come up and invite them to run. Invite them to run and force them into a mistake. It was a brilliant plan, worked to perfection, kept the score down, and they won it 19-17. Brilliant.
Hey,
He was a brilliant cat.
hey, big up to Gerald Beasley in the chat. What up to Khalil, Brian Cup, Justin D. Hey, Gerald, I see you got jokes talking about don't be drinking tonight. I see you over there with the subliminals, my guy, trying to talk about my brother, but I see you. What's up to Randy? You know what I'm saying? To everybody, man. I definitely appreciate you guys coming in, say what up to us. You know what I mean? As we give some flowers to the one and only Bill Belichick, as my boy Terradome just so eloquently explained with the experience that one of his friends had with this man who created the quarters defense, which a lot of people don't understand about losing Super Bowls. And me and my brother just call it, boy, I love losing Super Bowl, which was the Bills. And somebody who attributed to them losing was the guy that you just talked about by the name of Bill Belichick with that high rate offense that the Bills had back in those 90s. You know what I'm saying? So many people don't understand how awesome that offense was. Jim Kelly, and one of the most underrated running backs to ever touch God's green earth, who ran with the one and only one of the greatest running back of all time is Barry Sanders, in my opinion. But people don't know that this team had not only Thurman Thomas on their squad, they had Barry Sanders on the bench. They had both of those guys. Can you only imagine
Oklahoma
like the duo?
State.
Oklahoma State, man. You had Thurman Thomas. If y'all don't know who Thurman Thomas is, it might be a little bit before your time, but the guy catch the ball, run the inside, run outside,
HOF.
whatever you need to do, he can do everything that you want done. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, big ups to him, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I love the quarters. The quarters is something else. What's up, Jessica?
Hey, this how bad Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders was. There's a story that Barry Switzer, who was the coach of Oklahoma at the time, was getting ready to play Thurman Thomas and the Oklahoma State Cowboys at the time. And he told his defense, hey, look, whatever you do not hurt Thurman Thomas.
Don't do it.
Because that one they got on that bench.
I'm a dog.
We don't want any of that guy. We want to play Thurman Thomas today. Trust me, guys. Don't hurt Thurman Thomas.
Mr. Quaz himself.
That next year, it is no question. It is undisputed. And if y'all get a chance in the chat, please look at it game by game. Please look at Barry Sanders' senior year with the Oklahoma State Cowboys. It looks like something you do on Madden. It is truly unbelievable. Those are not video game. That is not doctored. That really happened. It was games. Barry Sanders ran for 315 yards and 4 and 5 touchdowns 3 or 4 times that season, and return punts and kicks. I ain't never seen that. It would just flash on the screen. Keith Jackson would be doing, well, Nelly, it's a dandy of a football game here. They got the Alabama Crimson Tide playing this team or that team. And then the flash would come. Barry Sanders just ran for 275 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like, what the
Fudge cake.
He's like, that's got to be a misprint or something. And then they would show them highlights. Barry Sanders was the greatest college football player ever. It ain't close. Don't give me Tim Tebow. Don't talk to me about Cam Newton. Don't talk to me nobody. Look at them stats. That actually happened. That happened.
Yeah, that boy.
He
Hey,
did that. He did that.
look what this. Hey, man, that boy good.
That boy good. That boy good.
That boy good, man.
Man, they couldn't touch him. They couldn't touch. You would miss Barry Sanders in a phone booth. I'm telling you what I know.
Hey, bad man. That's all I gotta say. That man was bad, you know. So,
and before that, twin, the day before, the night before, they hit me with Pete Carroll done stepped down or got
moved up to went up to the upper room a little bit, moved up to a new office.
The upper room. That we next.
We
next. Going to the upper room. That's where we going. He done bumped us up. That was a bit of a surprise for
man.
At least Pete. At least
basically like everybody went and had like a group chat, you know what I'm saying? Like this week on Monday, and they got together and say, hey man, listen here, we finna all, you know, call it quits, you know what I mean? And I think that's what happened, because it's kind of weird that so many other individuals all, you know, retired or, you know, moved up to another position at the same time, you know. So
yeah. And Nick Saban's gone. He done stepped down. Now what are the odds? Nick Saban, shout out to him with his 6 championships at Alabama and 1 at LSU. Would one say Nick is the greatest college coach ever?
I mean, I'm quite sure he is either he is, or the debate can be had that he's definitely, if he's not 1, he's number 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
there it is.
I mean, you can't get mad at somebody who says this man is the greatest college coach ever, because we know Alabama has been just a AAA system, you know, from college to the professionals. You know what I mean? He has birthed a lot of pro bowlers, all pros, and journeymen. You know what I mean? So his program has been one that we have all talked about for the last 15, 17 years. You know what I mean? So salute to him. And hey, Justin D, we ain't talking about no Cowboys right now, man. We'll leave your Cowboys alone. We'll get to them, but not right now.
Justin D talking about them Cowboys. Oh Lord. Let me see. Nick Saban retired also. Yeah, I had to jump in there, man. He's an institution as well. The sheer number of wins, the sheer number of national championships, the sheer number of ballers, quality ballers he's put into the National Football League. How can anybody argue it? Bear Bryant, maybe. I don't know if Bear put as many ball players in the National Football League as Nick Saban. He was the pipeline, dude. Mad respect to Bear, to Nick Saban. Which begs the question: who's if you come after Nick Saban, man, you kind of going to be the guy that replaced Nick Saban. You're never really going to have your identity.
Right? It'll be about 5. It was like at least you need like 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you need about 3 years to kind of the mystique, the aura. You know what I mean? Just how profound that he was. It's just somebody, again, it's hard to come, you know, and I mean his shadow is so huge, you know what I mean?
Yes,
and so it's going to take a very bright light, you know, to be able to go in there and be, I mean, I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want him to, but only person I only like
do have like commercials together.
I'm just saying, you know, I
I'm
mean,
just saying that you need a big personality to come up in there with
with some aura
and
in a
and
very
with
bright
some
light.
panache,
Oh,
bravado,
some gravitas, you
and
know,
somebody who can recruit ball players around the country.
flamboyant. You know what I mean?
Wearing chains. Just saying.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
You know.
Ha ha
Uh,
ha
uh,
ha
uh,
ha
uh,
ha.
uh, uh.
You know what I'm saying?
Just saying.
Hey, listen here. Foundation is already there. You ain't got to look. You ain't got to plot a land. You ain't got to
Hey,
pour the concrete or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
it's ready made. Plenty of money. Boosters.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Just
NIL
saying.
already. Just saying.
Already in there. Speaking
Hey.
of that, man, I know my boy, he the maestro of today. I did want to ask you a question. I know we got some things. No way, you got stuff lined up. I'm a hush. You know, I did have a question for you though, but I'll
Go
wait.
ahead. Go, no, I know you always got a question, but come on,
I got a
twin. Go ahead,
question.
go ahead, give me that question. We're
Man,
gonna be burning
nah,
all
man,
night.
you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be burning too much, you know what I'm saying? But
Go ahead, give me that.
I'm
Give me that.
just, you know, it's we
As
off this
he reels
weekend.
the beat.
You know, we off this weekend. You know, we off.
We are off.
You know what I'm saying?
We are
We off.
off. First
You know,
round
we
back.
chilling.
First
And
round back.
I'm being messy right now.
It's the time to be messy.
Your boy Larry, because I know you and Larry got this profound connection, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Very cool.
I know
We
you.
good people.
And
We good
I know
people.
you and Larry, you know what I'm saying? Got a nice little, you know, connection going on. But Larry gonna say something mess like this.
What'd he say?
He gonna say, did you see this today? If the 49ers somehow fall short of their ultimate goal of winning the Super Bowl, he said, I'll pursue Bill Belichick as the DC and see if he could bring Josh Uche or Kyle Duggar with him in free agent. It sounds crazy, but Bill's downfall is that he's a marginal GM and a poor CEO. How dare you? Oh God. He's the elite DC and maybe the best all-time evaluator and coordinator of DB talent. I ain't gonna read the whole thing, but I just want to throw that out there, man. You know,
Hey,
as
Larry.
stir of the pot. You know what I'm saying? You know, like
Well, I two things can be mutually exclusive, but true. He has had a hard time getting big name receivers on the offensive side or big playmakers short of Tom Brady. Tom Brady was making guys from the wide look good, with the exception of Randy Moss and they brought in Ocho Cinco, and he had a lot of good tight ends. He got Gronk and the killer Hernandez, but
allegedly. I'm just playing. Let me not mess with nobody.
Well, he got convicted of it. God rest his soul. Amen. Everybody needs forgiveness. But he never got a drafted bona fide threat, right?
Yeah.
And some teams just can't get it, and some teams can. What I would have did was just follow whoever Pittsburgh gets to get receivers. Pittsburgh could get a receiver just falling off the truck. they just followed that guy around. Whoever the scout is for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you're looking for receivers, wherever he go, hire a private investigator and just follow him around and
learn from him, huh?
Yeah. Go around like Dick Tracy and just look at him. So on that point, I see, but you know, it's Bill Belichick, man. It's Bill Belichick. He ain't gonna go for like, it's a demotion.
That's what I'm about to say. Like,
yeah,
bro, how can you
demotion.
be sitting in the penthouse on the apex of the mountain, and then like climb all the way down to like the cubby hole. You like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
bro.
and
You
take a
ain't
humble
hold on.
and you try to tell, hey, Kyle, I really think you need to go with this right here. Yeah, that'd be the better way to go with it, And Kyle like, sit down here to DC. I probably ain't gonna.
I ain't gonna fly too well.
No.
Mm.
And that's kind of out of the realm of Jim Harbaugh going to the Seahawks and being in the same building with Pete Carroll. That ain't gonna work.
Hey, the ego, man. The ego would clash.
It's gonna be some furniture moving around there. That
For sure.
Don't do that. Don't do that at all. So I'm not worried about Big Jim going to Seattle, and I don't think that Bill is coming here. Not unless something
Ain't
went
no way.
catastrophically wrong somewhere
Ain't
else.
no way.
My cousin's in the chat right now, man. He said
What up,
something about
cuzzo?
word on the street. That's Ellison Burley, man. My boy. We talk. That's my Ace Boone cousin. You know, your cuz, and we talk big football. He's a Washington man. Word on the street is they are going to announce the next guy by tomorrow evening. Is that Alabama or New England? Cuz throw it in the
Probably Bama.
In the chat.
Probably Bama. I bet it's
if they
Bama.
if they go with Lane Kiffin, man, gonna be no, don't do it.
Don't know about all that.
What up, David McNiner? What up? Bay Area baller. What's up? Bama. He clarified. Yeah, that's Bama. And College says Deion Branch, Troy Brown, David Pat, and they were good enough to win Super Bowls. All of them won Super Bowls, right?
But now
not,
there's one thing I would say about New England's rise. We be slacking on that defense, bro. Like, I don't care what a lot of people be trying to talk about, but that roster and that defense, man, of New England for them first 5 years, my God. Come on now.
Oh yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, I don't like when, like, and I know that's your boy, number 12, and respect to 12. But at the same time, man, hey, he had some.
Oh, that's
dogs.
how you do it. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Atkins. I mean, you had
Vrabel,
Matt,
Brewski,
Larry Centers,
Law. Yeah, they were all over the place, man. And then a little later on, he brought in Rodney Harrison. Junior Seau was there. Yeah, man, you got to do it with defense. You got to. There has to be a healthy balance. You just can't do it in the NFL, man, without defense.
Hey, watch this. People don't. Richard Seymour, he was a 6'6", like, phenomenon. Like, if you want to think about Myles Garrett in the early 2000s, think of Richard Seymour. We talking football. Richard Seymour was a beast. You know what I'm saying? Just a monster. Like, that's one guy he picked. Six man, listen here. Animal. Ashanti Samuels, Tyron Poole, Anthony Pleasant, Roman Pfeiffer. Come on, man. Hey, bro.
Oh,
Willie McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis, good Lord. Willie McGinnis look like he can play right now. Willie McGinnis about 50.
Man, come on, man.
55.
Yeah, Ty Law.
60. Ty Law is my dude.
Man, come on, man. Like, hey, people be out here. Man, that defense was out here.
And then
but don't break.
He cut one like the day before the opening game. They went to Buffalo. Who was that? Was that Ty Law? No, it wasn't Ty Law. It was a safety. And they still went to the championship. They lost that game against Buffalo.
Yeah.
they got beat bad, but it was just Lawyer Malloy. Thanks, man.
Oh yeah, Lawyer Malloy.
Lawyer Malloy.
Yeah,
oh
Lawyer
man,
Malloy
they was all
nasty
beasts,
too.
man. They was beasts, and that's his forte, defense. So that's kind of what Larry was saying. He's a defensive guy. He's really, really defensive, and I think he just really lucked up and got Tom Brady, who initially was kind of a game manager who could make plays.
I mean, think about this, and I mean, I know we over here on a whole nother subject, but if you look at the AFC North at the time, Miami was transitioning. Chad Pennington, Vinny Testaverde, like I'm talking about, that's the Jets. Chad Pennington, Vinny Testaverde, those are two quarterbacks going back and forth. You had Miami, still hadn't found the quarterback since the one and only Dan Marino had retired. They were in this flux. The Bills was in turmoil, going back and forth from Doug Flutie and Journeyman and things of that nature. So you knew your division, if you had a stout defense and was able to have somebody on the opposing end that could manage the game and not turn the ball over with a wonderful special team unit, you're getting 6 wins off the rip,
6
like
wins.
automatically. You see
6.
what I'm saying? And I think what he did was he really helped stabilize the foundation as Brady was able to learn football at a mastery level. He didn't have to rush. He didn't have to worry about taking on a lot of things on himself. The running game, though they didn't have extreme like big names, but they had guys who could do multiple things very well, you know. And so just their establishment, how they built that thing from the bottom up, it was, man, it was crazy, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's a situation that a lot of people weren't able to go into. And I always tell people the attention to detail that Belichick had was phenomenal. Everything that you could think could happen, an offside kick, a fake punt, fake run punt, fourth and whatever. He always had his guys prepared and to be disciplined, and one of the least penalized team always in the National
Yes.
Football League.
Yes. His one of his foundational things he would do would be sit down with a rookie or bring all the rookies in and go over every rule that is in the National Football League that is different from college, and really make them understand every subtle nuance rule. You have to know the rules. And they just weren't dumb. They're not going to beat themselves. And penalties and putting it on the ground or picks will beat you every time. It's I got Tony Dungy's book over there, Quiet Strength, and this is what Chuck Noll told him. This is how the Steelers got to, you know, if you don't beat yourselves, you can win 8 ball games in the National Football League. Just don't beat yourself. Don't throw picks. Don't put it on the ground, and minimize them penalties. Guys, we're gonna win 8 games. We're gonna win 8 just on that alone. We get some people to do make some really good plays. That's about 4 more. Now we're at 12 wins. Now we're in the playoffs. If I get some really, really great execution from you, we're going to toss it on up, and we're going to see how it happens in January or February. This is how it's done.
Yeah.
This is I got the great John Wooden behind me. Success isn't complicated. People complicate it. That's it.
Hey,
Rodney Harrison was another one.
That's what I'm saying, man. That man had everybody, and even like that Tom Brady, 3,600 yards passing, 23 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't anything that like we'll laugh at today, but in 2003, that's what Tom Brady had. 23 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. You see what I'm saying?
That's it. Just knock it on down. Just minimize it. Let's just get it. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Don't make the big mistakes. Minimize the dumb stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna fight. What you fighting? But you're gonna break your hand and give me 15 yards. That's stupid. Don't. And another thing you would tell people: don't put that ball out and try to get an extra yard or something. That's just opening it up for a fumble. Just get what you can get. Get out of bounds.
Get what you get. And you don't have a fit.
Yeah.
Watch this, and I'll tell you this. Now, Tom Brady had 28 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, his second Super Bowl, I believe, or 2004. People don't understand this guy he used to run for the Cincinnati Bengals. But he went over there to run with Tom Brady by the name of Corey Dillon.
Yes.
Like, people don't talk about him early in those runs, but they make it seem like, you know, again, I'm not talking about your boy at all, but I'm just saying if I told y'all right now, like y'all ain't gonna believe this. Do y'all know Corey Dillon rushed for over 1,600 yards, man?
Corey Dillon was nice, man.
Like, I know the receivers wasn't great, but if you had a running back to rush for 1,600 yards, bro,
that changed
12
the game.
touchdowns. That's
ball
a game
control,
changer.
Ball control.
Man,
that's keeping your defense fresh. That's keeping it out of the hands of another offense. That is smash mouth. That is bludgeoning. That and Corey Dillon at the time was viewed as a problem child.
A problem child.
Yeah, he was like
he had gold all my grill. Gold all my chain. You know what I'm saying, Corey Dillon?
Yeah, man.
You know, like Adrian James, you know what I'm saying? He was one of them boys.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. Man, what's that? On NFL Films, I see the Jank, man. He was so 305. He was so Florida. He said, man, it was when he was in Indianapolis. He hit a run, man. I think he had like 150 on the team. And that B-roll that they have on NFL Films, he hit this one. He said, man, they cannot stop me out here. I said, that's a Florida dude all the way. I used to play with them dudes. That's how they talk. That's him.
Look, talking out, look, a whole bunch of cash money.
Stop me out here. Can't stop me out here, boy. My gold teeth. I used to argue with them dudes. I used to just get them started, man. This dude named Sweet. They were from Miami and stuff. I said, man, a 318 would beat y'all. What? Boy, you crazy? We will beat them 100-4.
So they were ready for all the smoke, man.
Yeah, man.
All the smoke.
Mad. Yeah, they said we 5A, man. We 5A. All right.
Big ups to Adrian James, man. We know he out here still doing his thing, man. Salute to him.
Edge in the Hall of Fame, right? Edge,
yeah,
he from the U.
Man,
all my boys going there.
Adrian James. People forget that Peyton Manning went from Marshall Faulk to Adrian James, and then to
who you had?
Oh my goodness,
Joseph Adai.
Joseph Adai.
Yeah,
all three of them dudes could. Two of them got on HOFs, and Joseph Adai is definitely a borderline individual when it comes to just his rushing accomplishments and what he did over there, man. So like, you know, I know we back in the 20-something years ago, but man, yeah, that dude was
Joseph Adai. He was nice.
No joke.
He was nice. See, throwing that ball gets you all the notoriety and stuff. They gonna remember Marvin Harrison, but Joseph Adai was that dude. Joseph Adai was very solid. I remember because he was on my fantasy football team. That's when I was playing fantasy. I was like, yeah, this dude. I looked at him every week. Every week he was steady. I was like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna work.
Hey, listen here. You already know what you're gonna get, man. And that's one thing about Peyton Manning. You know, like, I don't know, man. The game of football was so different back in that. Like, I know people say, oh, back in my day, but I just love the physicality in the defense, man. I love seeing them 3-4. I love seeing Pittsburgh run that 3-4, man, with that zone blitz scheme, man. Oh my God, the disguises, the misalignment, Dick LeBeau back there, OG out here cooking it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't know what was going on. The movement of the defensive linemen, the integration. I mean, the back and forth with the linebackers, how interchangeable they were, you know what I'm saying? Bringing in the safety in the box, making it seem like he finna blitz, dropping to be a linebacker, maybe drop the linebacker into the deep zone in third while the safety comes blitz. So, like, I mean,
Dick LeBeau was doing dog blitzes. He introduced the dog blitz when you drop out a lineman and blitz the linebackers. And you couldn't tell the difference halfway because Pittsburgh linebackers looked like linemen. They was, you know, and they were strong.
260 pounds.
Yeah, you ever seen cats like Kirkland and the original
Levon Kirkland and Greg Lloyd.
Grit, man.
Greg Lord,
Yes,
Kevin Green, man, don't be talking to him,
they
man. Lord,
will.
my Lord, man, come on now, man.
They would scare you looking at them, and just playmakers in the backfield. Troy Polamalu, them dudes was different.
Man, people don't realize Kevin Green had over 150 sacks, man, for his career.
Big time,
Bad white
big
boy,
time.
bad
Yeah,
white boy.
he in top 5, maybe 3, 4. But
Man,
Bruce
people don't.
Smith is all time. Bruce Smith got 200. He's number one all time. But they didn't take sacks before 82 because man, Lawrence Taylor was doing some stuff. They just said, we got to call this something. It can't just be it can't just be tackle for loss.
All
This
right, so
number
look,
56 from Williamsburg, Virginia is doing something different. This got to be a stat of some sort. What can we
why
call
is
it?
so Reggie White, it was
Oh,
Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Kevin Green, then Julius Peppers, Chris Dolman, then Michael Strahan, Jason Taylor, Terrell Suggs, DeMarcus Ware, and Richard Dent. That's the top 10 right there, man. So just
oh,
hey, I know we talking football, but salute to Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Kevin Green. I think Chris Dolman is one of the most
underrated.
remarkable individuals when it comes, yeah, and underrated. You know what I mean?
Very underrated.
People don't talk about him anymore, unfortunately, but they should. You know, the 8-time Pro Bowler Christopher Dolman. I remember him and
Let
John
me see.
Randall, you know what I mean? When them guys got together, just for that 1 year back in the day when they led the Minnesota Vikings to that 14-2 season, I believe. But yeah,
Hey,
man.
yeah, man. They was actually they was that when they were 15-1, was Randy Moss there that
Yeah.
year with him and Chris Carter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris
They hadn't
Carter,
lost that
Jake
again. Yeah.
Reed. They had one of the most slept on
Um
running backs who reminds me of that Bruce Smith type of guy. My guy
Smith.
out of Ohio State,
Yeah.
Kevin Smith.
Robert
Robert
Smith.
Smith. Yeah,
Yeah.
Robert Smith. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. He just caught a lot of injuries with his knees and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, that turf monster gets you playing on that turf, man.
You know, I just
Everybody
looked
should
at,
consider
man.
grass.
Check this out. Jared Allen, John Randall, and Chris Dolman. Those three guys are in the top 12 in sacks. All three of them play for Minnesota Vikings.
They were always like that. They were always like that. Back in the day, they had something called the Purple People Eaters. It was
Eater.
a
Yeah, yeah,
dude
yeah.
named uh Carr, Alan Page, and they had 2 other guys. And they was just bad up front, man. But they would get to Super Bowls. They were the original Buffalo Bills. They lost to the Steelers in the Super Bowl. I think they lost to the Chiefs, maybe, and the Oakland Raiders. They would get to the Super Bowl, but how they would do it was a little tricky. They played great defense and they were great up front. But what they would do is get home field advantage, and they didn't have a dome up there in Minnesota. They played in a place called Bloomington, Minnesota. And ladies and gentlemen, in Bloomington, Minnesota in January,
I'm so cold. I'm so cold. I'm so cold. I got an ice box where my heart used to be.
Nobody wanted to go up there. So they would win. They would get to the Super Bowl 4 times. It looked cold on TV. When it looked cold on TV, you ain't want that smoke, man.
You
It's
see
like
all
what
that. Look, you see that all that you see you see your life disappear in front of your face. Just
man. And you see players just, how they had them little pockets and stuff. Receivers running around like this with their hands in there. They would just kill you, man. They just would do it. But then they would have the Super Bowl in a place like the Rose Bowl where it's 75 degrees and it's a little even now. Now, they would work with you or put it in a dome or something like that. Now they could work. But yeah, them Minnesota Vikings been a formidable threat for years.
oh yeah. They need one. Well, not right now, but they do need a ring eventually.
They'll get it. They'll get it one of these days. And I tell you who a threat right now, and they tired of being
But
stepped on. I got the Cleveland Browns possibly getting to a Super Bowl this year. We
I
may
got them
talk about
losing
that.
next week.
I got them
I I got
doing.
D'Amico Ryans with the upset this weekend. Just throwing it out there, but go ahead, say what you gotta say.
I got them. Watch those tricky Cleveland Browns. I hope D'Amico do get them because that just really validates D'Amico. He went to a franchise who was just in disarray. I really didn't want him to take that Houston job. I thought they were setting him up
Mm,
for failure because that's how they do.
hmm
Our folks, some folks get the pristine guy ready made, and other folks
Yeah.
go to a franchise where everybody done left and you ain't got much, and the owner's questionable, and the franchise got a history of this, a history of that. But for that man to go down there, he deserves to be coach of the year. For him to have not a lot on the shelf,
Yeah. They
bring
won't
some
give it to
good
him.
ball players with him, and get to the playoffs. And if he can pull off a win too, it's unquestionable. This is your coach of the year right here.
Man, if you just look at what he has done, a 4,000-yard passer, a rookie quarterback with the highest touchdown to interception ratio, to not only go to the playoffs but win the division. There are multiple years outside of doing the overhaul just to get some picks with all the drama that they had in their organization with new
Yes,
ownerships and things of that nature, man, shifting people, a lot of the good players either retired or moved along. So you're talking about the Watts of the worlds, the Deshaun Watsons, what's my guy named DeAndre Hopkins, um, TJ Watt retiring, like a lot of guys leaving their organization, having to start all the way
JJ.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah, for JJ Watt, yeah, and for him to go over there in his first year, pick a quarterback, pick a defensive what's my man's name? Will Anderson, I believe it is. And to have that organization turned around in the playoffs, man. I mean, if he
tip of the
was
hat.
in the oven for like only for 10 minutes instead of like 45 minutes, man, you know how I mean the praises would be astounding right now. You know what I mean? But um, unfortunately, it's not that way. But my man is doing a wonderful job, and I believe he
That's
has the opportunity
that's
to
awesome.
really do something because he took journeyman like a Noah Brown, who the Cowboys had as their third or fourth wide receiver. A guy by the name of Dalton Schultz, who the Cowboys had as their leading tight end.
I remember
They
Dalton
got a guy,
Schultz.
yeah.
Solid,
Then they picked
solid
up
guy.
Nico Collins, who was an underperformer, or somebody would say he was looking like a bust. But then, then they picked up Tank Dell, and then he had Antonio Pearson, the running back. All of a sudden,
Mm.
I mean, this team is he turned them guys into world beaters. You know what I mean? He was transformative in what it is that he could do with his arm strength
D'Amico, man.
and the
D'Amico.
people, man.
D'Amico's he speaks player because he was an awesome player himself. I think he was a Pro Bowler, if I'm
He
not
was.
mistaken.
He was a
Back
rookie of the year
back
too
when,
as well.
yeah, him and he was there with Cushing, and
Yeah,
Cushing.
Mario Williams,
Yeah,
Andre. Yeah, he was there with all of them.
they was ballers. They was ballers. And he knew his stuff. That's why Kyle went and got him. He was playing
What's up, I love weed?
when Kyle was there. Oh, that's awesome. There's a there's a name. Announcing with authority what he's all about.
I like it.
I
I
I
love
love
it. I need
I
some more
so
of it.
you got a lot of cowboy fans hollering at you, man. Your brother.
Hey man, listen here. They be showing your boy some love, man. So big ups to all of them, man. Whenever I hop on my brother platform, man, they show your boy Twin some love. It's kind of strange that you know how they say, I'm actually welcome more so in my brother's city than I am in the Niner So I don't know what up with that, but I do say some stuff that's kind of controversial when it comes to 49ers. So I'm assuming that's probably what it is. But hey, I love you guys all the same.
Well, the Bible says a prophet is not honored in his own home. And with that being said, the big thing this week was a wonderful comedian named Cat Williams. uh, he pretty much went in and told everybody about themselves
I go
on
hard in the mother paint.
he went hard in the paint on a few people, as some people would say in my family. He just went out there and told it. um Thoughts on that one there, twin? What would you say about
Hey,
Cat Williams?
I say Cat Williams was like, remember 10 years ago, he was one of those type of viral moments. You know what I mean? He was the guy who he set ablaze 2024. That man came in the new year, put his foot down, didn't take his shoes or socks off. You know what I mean? And he made himself a home at Shay Shay, at I think Shannon Sharp's establishment. You know what I mean? And he just got this thing cooking. And it's viral when it's one thing to get it like on Twitter or something like that. Somebody say, "Hey man, watch this video." I got it via text message. Like hey, did you see this? Did you see this? I'm like, what you talking about? Hey man, listen here. And man, they put Cat on that Joker. I was 4.5 minutes in, and I told the group chat I was in with me and my brother, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute, bro. I said, man, I gotta sit down. I said, listen here, he ain't waste no time. You know what I'm saying? He got the getting explosive, definitely came out the starting gate, running head like as fast as he could, looking like Sonic the Hedgehog, man. And he set the tone for 2024, man. He got everybody thinking right, man, and saying, listen here, you might not have to believe everything that he said, but there's some truths to some of the things that he said. And one of the
Gotta
things
be.
that I will hold to, and I know everybody will talk about a lot of controversial things that he said, but I will say this. I thought he spoke to the church a little bit when it comes to tithing, but that's all I'm gonna say. That man dropped a nugget about that. Man, nobody said anything else about it, but that man dropped a golden nugget, and ain't nobody gonna speak on it. Ain't nobody said nothing on what he said about that.
Well, let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. What specifically did you mean by it? It's going at the church, or uh about
Yeah.
the tithing? How is that? How's that relevant? How is that to you in your
Well,
terms?
so it's always so not to philosophize too much, but you hear when New Testament, Old Testament is being used. So they look at the tide and they bring up Old Testament scripture, but then turn around some days they want to bring in the new covenant. You know what I mean? So they kind of pick and choose, when they desire to use certain commandments and certain laws, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so I thought he was able to say, well, at that time, if you're reading, it was for how they was doing things in the storehouse back in those days and how, you know, the villages and community was ran at that time, There was a lot more uniformity in how they went about in community. And so I thought he was able to establish a new present tense where we don't know where certain things go in the modern church. You see what I'm saying? But what he
Mm.
was saying, like, hey, wherever I go, if I get blessed with 100,000 wow, I'm taking 10 of it. And I'm giving it to a boys and girls home. I'm taking 10 of it and giving it to one of these what you call it,
Shelters.
non-profit shelters, or not. Like, I'm going to give back and reinvest into this community, which I'm not necessarily this is not even my home. I'm just here to visit, but because good people came out to support me before I leave, I'm going to go out there and support others, and give to those individuals in need. And so I've always thought that was quite, since he said, I was like, man, that's something that I always thought that was kind of cool. And I don't think it's something that modern day, people of the cloth picks up. But you can only imagine if that was the common thing that these buildings did, you'll be surprised
Mm-hmm.
how people outlook on that building would be.
Agreed. Agreed. And I would say, because me being an ordained elder here, Kingdom Impact Global Ministries, 2503 Murchison Road. One of the things that really drew me to Kingdom Impact because I had to look around and see the church where I am fed. I really wanted to see how they uh, are in outreach, how they are in street ministry, how they are involved in what we call greater harvest, and how they do
Mm-hmm.
interact with the community around them. Because I know where my tithes go. Obviously, you have housekeeping you have to do, keep the lights on. It's a wonderful facility, great, their internet work and all that good stuff. Because you need to operate in the spirit of excellence. But
They got free
but
Wi-Fi. I'll just play.
they got some pretty good Wi-Fi. Shout out to Minister Barrett. But it is important that when you choose a church where you're fed, where you're getting
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of, God's interaction in the world, you look and see what they are doing and how they're doing it and how they're going about doing it. Because if you just given to say, hey, look at me, I'm good, but your church name is mud and they don't do anything, come Thanksgiving, ain't we giving to the people or nothing? No, we don't do that here. We just divvy the money up, don't worry about it. That's probably not where you need to be.
Yeah.
But I will say here, 2503 Merchants Road, Kingdom Impact Global Ministries, Apostle William T. Ford Sr., that was one of the driving forces of where I chose to be fed. But for you, the individual, if you feel so, it says give of your time, your talent, your treasure, wherever you feel you need to do. It's your spiritual walk and it's your relationship with God. Because it's not about religion, it's about relationship.
And be a
That's what I'll
cheerful
say on
giver
that.
too. If you
Cheerful,
ain't cheering when
yeah,
you
yeah.
if you
If
ain't
I gotta,
cheering when you're giving, don't give.
if I
Put the
gotta
thing back in
pull
your
it out
pocket.
you, yeah, it becomes a dang. I ain't want to go there. No, that's a bad analogy. But
Yeah,
if
got it.
if there's a young lady that you like and you have to take it from her, it's not it's not given. It is it's what you call a sexual assault, is what that is.
Look,
And
that's
God don't
called a
need
stronghold.
that. Yeah.
Look,
You're Teddy Pendergrass. You got what I need.
take it off. Turn it off.
so,
Mhm.
so
Turn
be
off the
a
lights.
cheerful giver, as he so graciously and eloquently said. Turn them off.
Turn them off. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, you got me. Hey, Teddy will play. Turn them lights off. God dog it.
Speaking of which, Cat Williams brings us to our topic du jour tonight. We are counting down. Well, it's not so much of a countdown as it is a likening to something. And before Cat went viral, I had Cat Williams as one of my favorite comedians. And I likened him to none other than Kyrie Irving. They're both short in stature, right? Relative to the game. Incredible handle, meaning they bad on screen or on stage. They both have crossover appeal. They've been in movies. Kyrie Irving did what's it called? Uncle Drew.
Yeah.
They will say something or do something pretty controversial. Remember, we're a year removed from Kyrie Irving and the Hebrew Israelites, right? I think I'm kind of spot on with my likening of Cat Williams to Kyrie Irving.
Hey, I mean, you say you got a bag. Your boy got a bag. You know what I'm saying? Cat Williams have a bag. I believe he said he did over probably 19 specials. You know what I mean? By
Yes.
Cat Williams, and so you got to realize that the guy he's diverse. You know what I mean? To understand that this guy did all these different types of shows. With different variations as far as topics and themes that he's going to bounce upon and talk about. The man can go from family to politics to, religion and so on and so forth. So everybody might not necessarily agree, but to be well versed in a little bit of everything is always something that you might want to add into your bag. And I think Cat Williams has shown that over the years that he could talk to you about a little bit of everything and still be humorous and invite you in and still be controversial at the same time. And so, as we will say about Kyrie, he's ambidextrous. He's one of the greatest finishers of the basketball that we have ever seen. His fundamentals is one that we look back on and say, man, there's not too many other individuals that can do what you can do with the rock, whether it'll be with the right foot, left hand, right, left, whether it's from the inside, mid-range, three-point line. I mean, whatever it is that you need to do, post up, this guy was able to do multiple things at a small frame. He was 6'1", 6'2", but could go and post up somebody who's 6'6", as if he was 6'7", and that's how Cat Williams looked as well. I mean, Cat Williams do other comedians into the audience. He might not be 6'4", but he go come at you with the bravado, the confidence, the arrogance of somebody who was put in that frame. And so, Cat Williams is smart. To me, he's extremely funny. He's witty, he's clever, he's quick with the reactions, man. And he's forever known for what he has done. And I think Kyrie as well. And this is a conversation.
And Kyrie's a Duke guy too. You can't be you can't be no dummy going to Duke. They don't take that 700 SCT. Let me shout out
say that.
The queen that is my mama Margaret Tara. Thank you so much for joining, Mom. We're gonna try to watch our language. Glory to God. Gort, GAWT, Gort. Thank you for joining, Mom. Love you, baby.
Yeah, I like that comment by big up to No Board Sports, and I like the comment by I Love Weed, man. Said many people don't know that Kyrie lost his mom on 9/11 too as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I remember that too. Like, yeah, he lost his mom a long time ago. His dad raised him since he was a youngin', him and his sister. And like, that's a whole nother aspect of somebody, and he began to get a little more in tune with his roots. Maybe a couple years ago, about 6 years ago, when y'all started seeing a lot of the Aztec Indian things, Native American as well, like his garb. Yeah. So he began to learn about his lineage on his mother's side, who passed away a long time ago. So like somebody who's dealing with a lot of things that's willing to open up and learn is somebody who you need to sit down and have a conversation with. And the same thing with Cat Williams, man. So I love what he's able to do far as make you think. And that's what he did, man. He came in 2024 and say, listen here, it's a year of truth. Y'all boys better wake up.
It's a truth. It's a truth. It's a truth. All right. You got a fave?
Okay. Hey, hold on. My man Randy said, I apologize. I want to make sure I'm PC. Indigenous people. You know what I mean? No, didn't mean anything by my slip of the words. Yes. But found out that he was part of the indigenous people, the originators here in the North Americans. You know what I'm saying? And so as he learned about himself, he definitely began to expand upon that. And just like people might not know, but you see this wonderful skin and this hair as well, very luscious and full. I have a lot of indigenous individuals inside of my bloodline too, coming from the South, a place called Natchez, where a lot of indigenous people lived. And my grandfather and my grandmama, man, got a lot of that in their blood too as well. So,
I've heard of Natchez. That's in is that Mississippi?
I'm from that MI, the rest side, PPI. You know what I'm saying? 601 all day, every day. Yes, sir.
Got you. All right, go ahead. Throw one at him. I mean, what you got?
All right. So I got a question. I told you that list. I know you.
Did you start doing your list and that thing grew?
That list is what they call it a grandioso of a list. You know what I mean? Of all the wonderful and beautiful and astounding individuals that we have. And so I don't know if you guys can see the thumbnail, as they like to say, but one of the other individuals that is on this list, I'm on to say. So let's go with the one and only. I'll say Tim Duncan, Mr. The Big Fundamental.
Okay.
And he's a guy who's been here for a long time. He established himself as one of the greats, power forward that ever played this game.
Yes,
And
sir.
so we have comedians who has been here for not a short time, but for a long time,
All
and who
right.
have really set the tone and so we got to go back into the archives to somebody who has been here for a while, you know, and was a pillar, you know. So I'm gonna see if anybody in the chat possibly could give me a good guess. You know what I'm saying? Who I may be talking about as one of the individuals who were the Tim Duncans of the one and only comedian atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Old
Mm.
school guy, been around for a long time, still here, still kicking it. But whenever you see him, he's done great things.
Mm.
He was
Do,
on
do,
TV,
do, do,
and he's
do, do,
Caucasian.
do, do. All right. All right. I think I got him.
Who you think it is?
I got the legendary Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, you correct.
Ding ding.
Jerry Seinfeld, man.
Jerry
Jerry
Seinfeld
Seinfeld.
just keeps on hitting it. It comes off the glass. It is just funny. It is just humorous. It is just what you need. The jokes are set up, bam, set up, bam. He's clean. He's just what you need, showing
Long
respect to
tenure.
the game.
Yeah.
Long. That's my guy. That outstanding, outstanding. Yeah, that is
And,
good.
and people
That's
don't
good.
bring up his name as one of the greatest, but if you just look at what he has accomplished, his TV, his specials, how much money he get paid for, his to go tour, you look like, oh God,
Oh,
Jerry make that type of
Jerry,
money. He
the big
does,
fundamental.
And Tim Duncan was the same way, man. He established himself and continuously to win over and over and over again, man. And people don't bring up Jerry Seinfeld like they should, but if anybody in that arena, they would definitely speak upon him and what it is that he has done and how he had really changed, the whole landscape. My man said, "Who's that?"
Ryan, you crazy man. Who's the death left shrimp of comedy? You are
Detlef.
the death
Sacramento
left
days.
shrimp. Look, somebody said Rappaport. I love weed crazy, man. He crazy, he's crazy. Somebody says Sinbad in the purple jumpsuit, one of my fave stand-ups.
Okay. You gonna take on the other one that Ryan just proposed? I think you talked about this earlier, but I think it's a wonderful transition to you. We talked
Who's
about this
death
off
left
camera.
shrimp? I got, I
No.
got
You see by Ryan. It's a little bit lower down there.
what? Laugh out loud. Uh, what NBA player would Robin Williams be? Ooh, did I talk about that one? Hold on, got my list.
I thought we did a little bit. I could be wrong,
I
but I
thought
thought we talked about it.
I think we talked about him, but I don't know if I had put one together. Let me see. I didn't see it.
Remember the legend for the Celtics. Remember?
Did we say? No, we called
No.
him something.
Was that Jim?
Yes, we call him Jim.
Okay.
Yeah. We ain't have Robin. We mentioned Robin Williams. Man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to think on that one. Let me throw this one down real quick. I got to put this one in.
Okay.
Because because Kat mentioned, I don't know if he mentioned it, but for me, this guy's, I'm gonna give you the comedian first. It's
Okay.
DL Hughley. DL Hughley. To
Okay.
me, DL Hughley is the Isaiah Thomas of comedians.
I was gonna say Stephon Marbury, but I'll let you go. Keep going.
All right. And the reason why I say that, he's a king of comedy. He was already in there in terms of his, I can remember his stand up, I can remember his bits, I can remember him and this was in the late 80s to early 90s, throwing down, holding it together. Uh when when he was talking about come on home, and he had the broken TV. He said, "Remember the TV you used to have that you had to turn with the knob? Come on home."
The
And
chrome knob.
he he had his TV show before a lot of other people did, the D.L. Hughley show. He had commercial success coming off of the court. He he's a champion to me, but doesn't get the recognition he truly deserves. If you remember, Isaiah was the first one to beat up on Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic at one time. And he garners a lot of respect from a lot of people. And even in today's market, his radio show just kills all the time. He comes with the DL Hughley moment of the day, or he talks on so many levels of politics. He talks on so many levels of social justice. He talks on so many levels, and he still keeps that funny. DL Hughley is my Isaiah Thomas of NBA greats.
Okay. Hmm.
Throw it at me. Throw it at me.
So
Jordan hated Stockton.
so this ain't my guy.
All right.
I don't prefer his comedy. I know he's known as a great though.
Okay.
Box office going down in the history. So this guy I'm talking about, he's a left-handed. One of the top, as they would say, top 5 shooting guards to ever play the game. I'm going to say Chris Rock is James Harden.
Mm. Mm.
Not everybody like Chris Rock.
Mm.
You got to have a particular type of.
Why don't they like him? Why don't they like Chris Rock?
I think Chris Rock more is for a particular other culture more so. You know, in my opinion, he speaks to that cloth a little bit more. And I think when you look at James Harden, you know his greatness, but because he doesn't do certain things, a lot of people turn off from it. You know, like offensively, yeah, you good, but certain things I just don't like about it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. All right, it doesn't mean that you're not great, but you're not my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel the same thing about, you know, he going to go down one of the greatest scorer of the basketball ever to touch the ball. Chris Rock has some of the most iconic, you know, what they call it, stand-ups and things of that nature. But he just ain't for everybody.
All right. I see a little pushback in the chat, and I gotta push back to me.
Oh, he's talking about my brother.
Chris Rock, to me, had big success in the 90s.
That's when he was just he was a side star though. Remember, he wasn't even a big man then, similar to how James Harden was. He wasn't a, you know, go ahead.
All right. He really came of age and got his big break almost imitating and standing in the shadows of whom I consider the GOAT of all goats of comedians. Eddie Murphy is my Michael Jordan of comedians. I've ruined it for everybody. Eddie Murphy is Jordan to me. All right. So I'll get back to Chris, but I have to just go ahead and give y'all the clincher. Eddie Murphy to me is Michael Jordan, and I will parallel their careers. In 1982, Jordan was a freshman hitting the go-ahead shot versus the Georgetown Hoyas while playing for University of North Carolina. In 1982, Eddie Murphy was on Saturday Night Live holding it down,
doing Gumby, baby.
Playing Gumby, Velvet Jones, James Brown, Celebrity Hot Tub, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. In 1985, Air Jordan hits the market. In 1985, Eddie Murphy hits the big screen with Trading Places, Beverly Hills Cop. In the 1990s, Jordan started to win championships. In the 1990s, Eddie Murphy is really stepping it out. Huh? Golden Child. All of his movies are starting to get. It's more success.
Want the night.
In the 2000s, Jordan's just this commercial. His name just rings out. He's still doing his things. People still come to get the Air Jordans. We have to run people away the day before the Jordans come out because they will camp out all night. Eddie Murphy is still making movies. He just had Candy Cane Lane and still doing his thing.
Listen here.
Is that whether it's Mr. Fish, whether it's Dream Girls, he can go comedian. He can do Shrek. Jordan can do no wrong to me. Jordan is my 100% greatest ever, right?
Hey, my 4-year-old was talking about, how was he getting? I'm like, man, Eddie got my kids crying. I seen Cane Lane about 13, 11 times, boy, over this doggone break.
The animation on that, when he switches down, and hate to ruin it for y'all, but that animation, man, when he becomes one of the little characters, that is just, it's just brilliant, you know.
For sure.
Not to mention the co-star and the kids. It's a brilliantly, it's my new Christmas. I think for Christmas we're gonna start watching Candy Cane Lane as much as we watch Home Alone, and of course what's A Christmas Story, 24 Hours of a Christmas Story. So I'll jump back to Chris Rock. Somebody had to imitate and take the same career path as Eddie Murphy. What Chris Rock did was go to Saturday Night Live first and try to be like Eddie Murphy.
Hold on,
and then in the 2000s, he comes with Bring the Pain. And then he goes into the movie.
You better not name him who I think
he plays Pookie in New Jack City. And then he comes again with another one, HBO special. And then he has his own show on HBO. And then he has another movie, Top 5. And then he does it for the culture. And then he comes again with even another one, I Think I Love My Wife. And he just keeps coming again and again. And on the last special on Netflix, they call him the GOAT. He hangs with Dave Chappelle, and Kevin Hart brings a GOAT on stage and presents it to him. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Rock is my Kobe Bryant.
No, man. Chris Rock.
I can name his bits. He is. Chris Rock said, "I think bullets should cost $5,000. That way, if you shoot somebody 5 times, you be like, damn, he must have did something. It's $25,000 worth of bullets bits up in him.
Ain't no way in
Rock
hell. I'm
is
sorry,
my
bro. Oh
dude.
man, not Mr. 24, Mr. Bean
What my
Bryant,
man
bro.
said, CB4, daggone Pookie from New Jack City. Uh, what if I just told you this? How
Oh
about
man,
I get one rib? I'm gonna get you, sucker. The man just got bits after bits after bits, man. He's my Kobe. He my Kobe Bryant. He took this. His big break came by Eddie Murphy inviting him to be in Beverly Hills Cop 2. Or I think it was 2. Yeah. Somebody stole my brand new Chevrolet. Or was that the first one? He plays a waiter and tells his mom, I'm going to Hollywood. Eddie Murphy invited me to Hollywood. That was his first movie. He came under the umbrella of Eddie Murphy just as Kobe came to the GOAT. It's Chris Rock.
Hey, I mean, hey, you got people. Look, they agreeing with you in the chat, so I ain't gonna say nothing, man. Because I really like Kobe, but I really ain't the biggest fan of Chris Rock. So, but I mean, hey,
Go back and look at that Bring the Pain. Go back and
no, I remember that. I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Sweat the ball. Oh man, CB4 was you ain't like he played Gusto in CB4. He was Gusto. He was Pookie. He was down with Bernie Mac in head of state. Was a head of state when Bernie Mac was his brother, and Bernie Mac was gonna be the vice president.
Man, watch this. Tell me where his 81-point game at, god dog it. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is 81? Tell me where is his Achilles tendon ripped? Where is his Achilles tendon being ripped? And he going out there still shooting the free throw, man. Where is Mini Fro and then Fave? You know what I'm saying? Where is the 8 to the 24? You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. I'm gonna kick you out
Tambourine, the door. Madagascar, Death at a Funeral. He stands amongst greats in movies, and he puts. I tell you another. When he goes serious, did you ever see him in Fargo when he plays a gangster in Kansas City? He can go serious Fargo, on you. Yeah, man.
I mean, but ain't nobody in the hood talk. Ain't nobody, not now another person in the individual that I met that my color ever in life told me, did you see? Did you see? Besides you, the first one ever who said, did you see Chris Rock and Fargo? Ain't no other individual said that to me. But when Kobe dropped 81, everybody and their mama sent a text message, an email, they sent a kite, they was pen pals telling everybody. Where were they when they saw 81 against the Toronto Raptors and Jalen Rose looked like a tulip? Like, man, but hey, that's I saw when you said one thing, I was like, oh no, not my boy B. But I can understand where you coming from. I can still respect. I can respect enough where you coming from.
That's all I. Tambourine was awesome. His man, he done knocked down some serious specials, man. Chris Rock is a brilliant mind, man. Tambourine was great stand up. It left me thinking about my relationship. Yeah, he, when you go through that divorce at that age, it's gotta be different. I can't imagine it. We're about the same age, and everybody hates Chris. Dude, how he narrates that. And the music that he uses, the culture is well represented. When he has Eric B. and Rakim playing, when he has Public Enemy playing, when he has all that, man, he is Bed-Stuy, do or die. When he got his Achilles tour, when Will Smith smacked him on that stage, and he stayed professional the whole time. He collected himself up in front of the world, God, and everybody, stayed professional and still kept going. Ain't no other comedian ever been through that. And if you seen Dave Chappelle, I mean, yeah, Dave Chappelle's New Year's special. Everybody's talking about what they would have did, and Dave Chappelle said, and then I'm in the Hollywood theater, and it actually happens to me, right? And he said he found a
Oh man.
newfound respect for that man to do that. He said, but I tell you what, Will Smith wouldn't have sat down and just enjoyed the show.
Facts. I remember that part.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man.
that's my dude.
I see what you're talking about. All right. I feel you. All right. So I'm going with this one.
Go ahead, my
My
brother.
guy, the guy who I'm going to pick,
I must be full. Is this thing closed?
I'm going to
What?
pick Chris Paul.
Uh-oh.
Y'all don't stab me with your butter knives or with your plastic fork. You know what I'm saying? He's Kevin Hart, Mr. State Farm himself.
Okay.
You know, in his earlier years, his turnover to assist ratio was ridiculous. He was all team defense. Offensively, he was considered one of the top two guards between him and Darren Williams. I mean, you could pick who he was. He was able to carry a team in New Orleans. He shifted and went on to the Plastic Cup Boys, you know, where he went over there to the Clippers. You know what I mean? He was still the
Okay.
leader of that new school. We saw that he was able to have those guys dunking and being entertainment and showing everybody that you could still do it. But then he began to get the commercial success as well when CP3, aka the State Farm guy, came. And then his popularity rose to a whole nother level because he's been getting money off of State Farm for forever. You know what I
All right.
mean? And even though he didn't necessarily make it to the top of the top, but he was consistently making money. And uh Pauly Shore. I rest in peace. Pauly Shore, my little hey call. No way.
She said
She
Pauly
said
Shore.
Kevin Hart is Pauly Shore. Oh my God.
Oh, dang.
But a lot of people love Chris Paul, man. His ability to be a leader. He's on the directors of in the NBA PA. You know what I'm saying? He's been one of the
Yeah.
main chairmen over the last 10 years. The one and only Chris Paul, you know, has been doing those things alongside with, Kevin Hart. He's been one of the guys who continue to be in the industry. You see him on the commercials for Fabletics and other things like Chase, you know.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So like
All right.
when you think about it, he's always in front of the camera. He knows everybody. He's teamed up with The Rock, aka Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Continue to hold on to the coattail to extend his career. And yeah, man.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Peace out. I love weed, man. Have a good one, man. I see you go.
Peace
I ain't gonna
out.
say
I
that
love
last
weed.
part, but salute to you, my guy.
Oh man, look at my cousin said, man. Larry David is Greg Popovich.
Oh yeah, he been here forever. You know what I'm saying?
It could be. Larry David is
Forever.
awesome, dude. Larry David is awesome. I love Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Seinfeld. All right, I'm gonna let you roll with that. I had Kevin Hart as somebody else, but I'm gonna go ahead and let that. I'm gonna let that one go. This one for me, and I got you by a few years, and I remember him so fondly and so well, and his career got cut short. There was still meat on the bones. He focused in around the Los Angeles area. He wasn't from Los Angeles, but he focused around the LA theater. In 1987, I first saw him. My girlfriend at the time said, "There's a comedian you really got to see." and he was on like a BET special, and he was killing the crowd,
From
just
Detroit.
killing the crowd. He extemporaneously going in. Just put the spotlight on him. Young brother with the hole in the natural. Just his expressions. He just, some people just naturally funny. It goes on more and more as I'm in college. People just saying his bits. People just saying his lines. He can just do it almost magically. It goes a little further into the 90s. You see him popping up in movies, and it don't take nothing but a couple of lines for you to see him, and you know that's just the star. He done took the line. He done took the movie over. Movies like House Party, movies like Mo Better Blues, movies like Do the Right Thing. Then he gets his own HBO special, and the world flips. They still will reference Bad Kids from him. My Magic Johnson of all comedians is Robin Harris. Robin Harris. Robin Harris. If y'all don't believe me, please go back and look up Robin Harris HBO special. It still kills today.
What about, man? Oh, y'all gotta go watch the anime, man. Baby Kids.
Animated. Oh, if you got a group of bad kids
and baby kids,
you will call them baby's kids. I talked to Jamaica. I said, Jamaica, they got one more time. One more time. And they going home from here.
Hey,
that's it.
Your mama so old. She was there when they first day of slavery.
he said, is these Lee press-on nails? Is these? No, those yours. I can see the dirt in them.
Hey, my man said, I'm pissed off to the highest level of pissivity.
You know what I mean, head?
Hey, I love that movie, man.
Man, he would say, I gotta go ahead, y'all drink up because you can't get drunk in here. He said the cop stopped me. I said, what you want? He said, got any drugs in the car? He said, no, it's at home with the gun. He said, you been drinking tonight? He said, hell yeah. he said, where you been drinking at? I said, down at the Vic. He said, well, go on. you can't be drunk.
Man, listen here.
He was so incredible, man. But I think he had a heart attack at 36. And Magic
gone too soon, man.
Oh my God, November 7th, 1991. I come in from Parker Hall, coming from class to Parker Hall, my dorm, and Buddha and the boys come and say, hey man, Magic Johnson got AIDS. I said, no, man, y'all lying, man. And it's a press conference, and I'm crushed. Because back then, you know, we ain't know that much. You know, it was it was like you got that HIV, you going away from here, you know. And 2 careers cut short. LA rings, stand up, names ring out. That's my
you remember this one? I can never forget this one. Remember my man say, your mama so dumb. They told her it was chill outside. She went inside, got a bowl.
Got a bowl. Look at you. And she ain't bright, ladies and gentlemen. She ain't bright. Look at her. Robin with the man, he put the spotlight on you, man. He could go around the room and just kill. That mind, you know, it's some guy. Some people are just so amazing with their minds operating so quickly. Like Jay-Z don't write a rhyme.
I'm not a writer on my body for myself. And I'm sorry, freestyle off the dome.
He just hitting it off the dome. There are
He said, I
comedians
pull
like that.
words
There are
out the
people.
air like telephone. You know what I'm saying?
That was Robin. Robin was that as a comedian, and Magic Johnson could invent. He don't. That's why he wasn't a good coach. He tried to coach for a minute, and great players do not make the best coaches more times than not because they have something. They have a superpower that I can't give to you. I can't convey to you. I can see stuff behind me while the average human being just can't do that. And Magic was telling them, look, you can't see that guy behind you throw that thing like that. And they look at him like, Smush Parker looks at him like, hell no. who can? You just got to feel him. Look, just do that. Mm-mm.
Rest
Robert
in
Harris
peace
the
to
same way.
old Mr. Robin Harris, man. He
Robin
was a
Harris.
legend, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my guy.
Golly. That was that man. Even when you think about animation and like having an animation that was for adults, you know, just think about it. That was definitely one of the first of its kind back then because nobody was able to take that type of raunchy. It was wrong, you know what I'm saying? It was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and to be able to put it in a platform where people can go out there and watch it in the animation movie, man, it made it palatable to people, you know, to go and watch it and accept it. But that guy was funny, you know, and that man, them baby kids, man, definitely them flies and the
Yeah.
bowls, and like there are so many different scenes in that the animation that stuck with people. And it was a sad time when he passed away, but he definitely, when you said that, he left his mark, you know, on the comedian world, you know what I mean, and what it was that he did, man. Like you say, gone definitely too soon, you know, but he was definitely
Yes.
a trendsetter. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Uh, I'm
Go
trying
ahead,
to. So, huh?
go ahead, throw another one at me. My man said, "Rest in peace to all the greats that have passed." Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Ryan.
So I'm going to go with these guys are different but the same at the same time. The captain.
Oh, uh-oh.
So before there was MJ, it was the captain. You know
Get
what he
up.
did in Milwaukee, UCLA, established himself as one of the greatest from not only high school,
Yes,
college,
sir.
but then also the pros. He was a legend.
Yes,
Not only was he
sir.
a legend, he was an activist. He was somebody who expounded upon the power of knowledge,
Yes, sir.
knowing that if you were to acquire it, it could get you in many doors. And if it couldn't get you in a door, it gave you the ability and the creativity to go and make your own door if you desired to. And
Okay.
the captain, still to this day, his legacy lives on. He changed his name. And you know, he did a whole bunch of different things, you know. Prayers to him
Mm-hmm.
because he recently fell and kind of hurt his hip. But I'm going to say he had an unstoppable move, which led him to be right now. He's the number 2 scorer of all time, you know, in the National Basketball Association by the name of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm going to say Richard Pryor is the captain.
Unmistakable Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor is Richard Pryor. 1960s, the best high school player there ever was, the best college player there ever was, the best pro player there has been. Richard Pryor is the gold standard of comedians, just as uh Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was. It just was that way, man. Richard just absolutely was killing. You had to sneak, and shout out to my cousin Pam when she used to keep me. She used to let me hear some Richard Pryor albums. I won't but eat, but when mom and dad would go out or something, man, you could just hear the music from Luther Vandross, Bad Boy, gonna sneak out tonight, and we would listen to them Richard Pryor, and man, he was something, man. He was something, man. He was bad, man. Richard Pryor, he could make noises, he could imitate, he could
Do whatever.
movie star, uh everything you want, man. Everything you want. He was he had his own show for a hot minute. It was on NBC, but he did Saturday Night Live too. Came in as a guest on a few appearances, and they are legendary. Look up him and Chevy Chase as he's applying for a job. No PC here. It might offend some of you. This is a different era. Man, Richard could do it, man. Richard could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. He said he had some monkeys in that tree, and he was talking as if he was a dog. He said, them monkeys there. Damn, I was gonna eat them too. It was just funny. Live on the Sunset Strip. The one he had the red shirt on and them gold shoes. He was imitating white folks. He was talking about his pain got put on stage, and he made it palatable and funny, and just a genius, man. The genius of Richard Pryor. God rest his soul. He was the dude. He was the dude, man.
Said that guy.
Richard Pryor. He was that dude.
So I got one. Oh no, never mind. It's on you. No. I did that one. It's your turn.
You did Richard. You did Richard. I just
did Richard. Yeah. I did Richard.
We totally agree. All right, I'll go here. Really broke through early 2000s. Really started stepping it out. Just had his special 24 years later, mirroring somebody who was getting down for the last 24 years. Debatable how great he truly is with some of the greatest that ever did it. Has been just putting in work. Had his own show and really started stepping it out in 2005, as this one was stepping it out in 2005. Still putting it out now, still going strong. Big and tall in stature, maybe a little lanky comparative to the other one, but in persona, in the culture, lived their life pretty clean, but just so excellent at what they do. My Dave Chappelle is LeBron James.
Who? LeBron James.
LeBron James and Dave Chappelle are simpatico for me. They just stars. They just got it, man. They just funny. Well, Dave is just funny, and LeBron is just great, man. He is wonderful, wonderful, great. I can't call him the GOAT. He ain't Eddie Murphy. But boy, you gotta put him in that same vein. You gotta move him in that neighborhood. And as a man, as a principled man, top notch. It seems like a real good dude, you know. Maybe you made a bad decision, or we didn't like your decision to turn down the $50 million at Comedy Central, or like your decision to go to the Boys and Girls Club and say I moved my talents to Miami, and that's your only fault. Come on, dude.
I feel you.
LeBron is Dave Chappelle to me, and Dave Chappelle is LeBron.
Chappelle Show. What up, Brandy? How you doing? I see you out there.
Better
I
not
mean,
bring your kids.
man, we having the what is it, the draft? What was that draft called?
The racial draft.
The racial draft.
Oh
Boy, I tell
man,
you,
most
me and
definitely.
my brother.
I had that last night. Go ahead, tell us your story.
No, I'm saying me and my brother used to. We had it. My brother used to. We used to. He used to. DVDs, CDs. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, used to have the line wire cut. You know what I'm saying? And we used to do some pirating. You know what I'm saying? And boy, I remember we got there at the Chappelle show. And this was when Family Guy came out. Man, when I tell you, me and my brother used to watch we would sit back. I used to partake in some other things in my younger day. My brother didn't partake, but I definitely was on some however your chimney was in Michigan the day before Christmas when the smoke come all out everywhere. That's how I was back in the day, you know what I'm saying? But you know, boy, we used to sit back there, man, watch the Family Guy and the Chappelle show, man, and we would just laugh all the time. I mean, all the time, man. That show was monumental. It was fierce. That show was able to transform television, man. I mean, sketch comedy was never the same. You know, it made me want to be a milkman.
Oh man, it's my favorite family.
But woo, my favorite family, boy.
You know, I ain't want to say nothing, but I know how you forgot your bill. The racial draft, man. I said last night because Stephen A was going in so hard on a man I just absolutely detest, Jason Whitlock, who I'm convinced in a former life was selling out slaves on the Ivory Coast. I really can't stand that man. But I said I got the meme together last night, and I said Black Coalition trade Jason Whitlock for Tommy Egan on Power.
No, we trade him for what's my man's name? Gary Owen.
Yeah, we Black Coalition trade Jason Whitlock for Gary Owen.
Yeah, he got to go.
Most deaf kill that, and then Dave.
No.
Comes back.
I know a perfect person.
Who?
We trade
Rachel Dolezal.
No, we trade him for Rich Eisen. He a cool white dude, man. He be out here, you know.
It's a couple of them. CMC. I'll take any. This dude need to be sold. You know, give me a package deal, something. This dude make Clarence Thomas look like Louis Farrakhan, man. I'm telling you, this guy is a horrible dude. But I digress. Dave Chappelle's just, you know, and then the player haters ball. He said, now as I take a sip of my soda that I'm sure somebody spit in. Chappelle just was killing it, man. And his specials. He just got that new one that me and you watched.
The Dreamer.
The Dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
The Dreamer, man. When he was making fun of he didn't want to be un-PC, so he wanted to make fun of the other group.
Mm-hmm. Don't say no names on here.
Yeah, don't say no names, but y'all watch The Dreamer on Netflix. Chappelle's killing it.
Okay. All right. So I'm coming with one.
All right, come on.
One that you weren't thinking about.
All right.
But I was inspired. And I'm going to say the one and only Monique, aka Cheryl Swoops.
Whoa. All right. Yeah, you got me. You got me.
You wouldn't
All
expect
right.
me to come with the ladies with the
I ain't
WNBA
see.
reference, you know what I'm
I ain't
saying?
see you coming with the ladies. I ain't see you coming with the ladies. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. All right. All right. Well, let me
She been hanging
go
with
ahead.
the
Go ahead.
fellas from the inception, man. You know, she
Okay.
created and one of the curators of the WNBA in the mid 90s, right when this other young lady was beginning to take off herself. You know, she had already been in the underground doing the comedy clubs, but then, you know, she began to get her break on BET. Big girl, thick girl who knew how to make everybody laugh and knew how to talk to the men, even make a man want to go and fall in love with the BBW early on in the night, and just the way she carried herself and the amount of confidence that oozed from her pores. She could hang in the room with the best of them. She was quick, witty. She can do all the jokes that the men could do. And she was able to propel herself at the time to be not only a beautiful comedian, but one of the queens of comedy as well.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, she did acting eventually, which she ended up not only doing acting, but before then, like in movies, she had a sitcom herself. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nikki Parker. She was in your house on your TV screen every day, Monday through Friday. You know what I mean? And so with somebody like Monique who came and set the culture and helped raise a lot of individuals because she was just a beautiful woman and a funny young lady, I thought that in basketball, she set the stage far as the Cheryl Swoops did. You know what I mean? And so I think I just wanted to tie in how she was able to go to the Houston Rockets, become one of a multi-time champion. Chocolate sister as well out there with the hair perm. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Balling
Kept
and
it
and
tight.
just let and kept it tight. You know what I'm saying? And let people
Kept it
know.
tight.
So
Yeah.
she went away from a while because she ended up having a baby. So but that's later on. You know what I'm saying? But you know she still was able to excel at what it was that she did, man. And so I just wanted to show the women some love and how Monique still is a central figure
Look at that.
in what it is when it comes to the comedian game, and know how a lot of times she still got, blackball, whatever the case may be.
Mm.
But I think that Cheryl don't get the love that she deserved. You know what I'm saying? And so I think she definitely needs to be in more spaces. Her voice needs to be heard, and her story needs to be told more often because she was not only a trendsetter, but she was a pioneer for the sport of basketball itself, not just for
All right.
women's sport, but for basketball in general. So I just wanted to show her some love and give her some praise and tell her, I see you, sister, and we love you. You know what I'm saying?
God almighty. All right.
Uh,
Hey, there you
Flex
go.
on,
Nice,
you know what I'm saying?
nice
You know
dunk.
what I'm saying?
Nice dunk. Nice dunk.
You know? Ah,
Gonna
ah.
take a lot to come back with that. All right. All right. I see you. Now let me go ahead and switch. Let me go ahead and switch my gear.
Filet.
I'm gonna throw one out and I'm gonna give it to the game of basketball and round it right to our comedian in our segment. The Los Angeles Lakers, my favorite team, had a great man named the logo, Jerry West. The game can't be, or the story of the game can't be told without the logo. Jerry West, number 44, actually lost a championship to them sorry Celtics and still was voted MVP. Jerry West later becomes the GM of the Los Angeles Lakers and brings in some of the greatest, among the greatest talent to ever grace NBA floors, to include people like Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, James Worthy, and many, many more. In terms of comedians, this is George Carlin, a legend several times over. George Carlin is respected, funny, extemporaneous, witty, smart, humorous, political, uh, and a bit of uh, a, a social giant in his
Uh-huh.
comedy. The 7 words not heard on television, George Carlin's killing it. Commercial success, albums, his stand-ups legendary. George Carlin was just it. All the greats absolutely love him, whether it was Chris Rock, uh, uh, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. He garners the respect of every great comedian. That's how I'm just enthralled in telling you, man. George Carlin was the dude. He could talk about your stuff and make it a bit for 15 minutes. That's how you got your stuff. Put your stuff away. What about your stuff? I need my stuff. You need your stuff? I got your stuff. Where is your stuff? Whose stuff is that? That man was just bad, man. George
Some
Carlin is my
good.
guy. That was a bad dude, man. George Carlin.
Okay, okay, okay. I see you out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying?
Word is
All
born.
right.
Word is born.
So I'm gonna go. I'm cooking right now. So I'm just go, you know how when you cooking,
Go ahead, cook. Go
you
ahead,
got
cook.
that cast iron skillet
Stir the
set to
pot.
about 6.5, 6.5. You got that good grease in that joker that's about maybe 3 inches above in that thing, and you got that joker just sizzling. You dropping them fried chicken wings in there for about 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
You
After
breaded
about
them? You breaded? You
oh yeah,
breaded them?
oh breaded, breaded.
Okay. Okay.
Listen here, listen. I'm telling you, breaded all the way up. You drop.
He hotter than fish grease.
Hotter than fish grease, baby. But right now we kicking fried chicken, you know, wings all flat. But anyway, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna put the one and only Dirk Nowinski in this boy, aka Bill, the redhead Burr in this mother for you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm
That's
keeping
my
up with the
dude.
brother who loved the sister. Same thing with my boy Dirk, who loved the sister, who loved the culture, because he couldn't speak no English. He didn't know, but where he was drafted off into Dallas with them boys who taught him about the people. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was rolling around with Michael Finley, you know, and learning about the culture. He's sitting back learning how to speak, how to talk, fell in love with a sister, you know what I mean? Was able to become one of the greatest scorers of the ball, somebody we never seen before. He was a punt forward. You know, he was gigantic in stature and also in impact as well. He shifted the culture. He expanded the game in the NBA as far as the big man, as far as the power forward, no longer just being someone underneath the basket who could shoot the 18-footer in the short corner. He expanded his game even out to the three-point line as well, you know. And so he came out with the patented, you know, we call it like the cemented leg, the stone foot,
Yeah,
one-legged, you
yeah.
know what I mean?
You know that.
You know what I'm saying? He had the one-legged iconic shot, you know, and I believe Bill
Now
Burr,
everybody's doing it.
everybody doing it, you know what I'm saying? And I believe Bill Burr is somebody who transitioned from not only being a guy with the red head, but you know, he was a funny comedian. He was able to learn about, you know, the black culture and speak about it in a humorous way. He was able to be a
Yes,
connector. I call him, he was a bridge, you know.
he is.
He was able to
He
take
is.
this audience and bring in these people instead of bringing divide. He was able to bring connectivity, you know, and unity amongst people. And so I say Bill Burr is the Dirk Nowinski, you know what I'm saying, of this thing. How y'all feel about that? Let me know how y'all
That's
feel.
my
Let me
dude.
know.
That's Bill Burr's my guy. You know, we talked about Bill Burr. Bill Burr is. Have you ever seen this anime on Netflix? He's got a show, animated. Check it out. It's about him growing up.
Mm-mm.
Bad. You'll love it. Bad. 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 Check it out, man. It is. All
Man, but big ups to
hilarious.
Bill Burr, man. I
Bill
watched
Burr.
his 10-minute show in Philadelphia when they were trying to boo
They
him
were trying to
out of
heckle.
Philly. They were heckling for the last 10. He said, I
Boy.
got 10 minutes for you. And he said, hold on. I got 9 minutes. I ain't going nowhere. He went from 10. He counted down and he gave that crowd. He
He
talked about
he
everybody.
gave it all
Boy.
they want. Before it was over, Philadelphia, they can be the nastiest city in the world. But Bill Burr captured them. Bill Burr turned Philly around. That is work, ladies and gentlemen.
Man,
true
he,
work. Them people nasty, nasty. And we know about this. All right, let me go ahead and get real on you for a minute. From 1992 to about 2004, the most destructive force in the universe played center for the purple and gold. At that same time, a comedian hits the Def Comedy Jam. Then the Kings of Comedy. Then a few movies. Then his own TV show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Shaquille O'Neal of comedy is one Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was like none other. He came to Def Comedy Jam. They said on that night they were booing the host, Martin Lawrence. They didn't want to hear nothing in Brooklyn that night. Bernie Mac walks out there and said, I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers. And then he goes into, he said, look, when you
I love sex. I love it.
We love it. When you with your wife, it's like going to war. You gotta sneak up on it. and then you stir it like coffee. You gotta stir it like coffee. And then he said, hit it. And then he danced.
Hey, no, you gotta go. Hey, hold on. I'm
like Kings of Comedy.
Hey, no. Hey, he say, and I'm blessed. I'm big boned.
Big bone.
And I'm heavy structured. I'm hung low. I pull my shit out. I'm sorry.
It get dark out here.
Hit it.
Bernie Mac absolutely killed it, and then he took that over to Def Comedy Jam. Not Def Comedy Jam, Kings of Comedy. Bernie Mac was initially supposed to be like second or first in Kings of Comedy, and nobody wanted to follow him. He gave everybody all they wanted. He had to go last. Spike Lee was the producer and the director of Kings of Comedy, and they said, hey man, y'all don't want to follow that dude.
That ain't what you want.
Don't even follow. It ain't what you want. Don't follow him. Don't follow him. Let him go ahead and go last. Him and Steve Harvey was beefing on that because Steve is like, I'm the name, I've been out here. I had my own show. I done did this and that. That is all well and good. But that crowd says Bernie's the guy. And from that, very similar to Robert Harris, both from Chicago, very similar to that, man. He gets the TV show, the Bernie Mac show, where he's taking care of his kids born from that show, and how he teased him downstairs. And then he looked me up and down. You know what that means? He won't do something. And then the girl came. I want some milk and hug.
So what?
And then about taking him to the bus stop, and then and then talking to the driver. Bernie, Bernie just killed it, man. Bernie Mac just kills it. If he show up in the movie in enemy what's it Head of State, when he's Chris Rock's brother, he's just walking around smacking people as he goes on the train. he's he's the dude's just naturally funny, man.
For sure.
He was a destructive force like Shaquille O'Neal in that time frame. As Shaq hits Orlando through LA on to Miami, he was Bernie Mac. That's my Bernie Mac. Shaquille O'Neal. And they both were pretty 6'2" guys, which is tall for comedians, and a 7-foot monster that you couldn't do nothing with. You know, if he move his elbow, you getting that work in your grill. You know, you coming out with bloody lip like the Kempe Matumbo. No. And Shaq just banging that thing, putting, his manatees all up in your face. You ain't want it.
Man.
Bernie Mac.
And Bernie Mac, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I'm not ashamed to tell the truth about what happened in my family. I think it's what makes my comedy different. That man, listen, dude, that show was he had the ability to teach people via that television show, man. And he was the uncle or the daddy that you always kind of wish you had. His ability to be comedic, but at the same time give you life lessons, and he didn't have to put a lot of sugar on it. At that time, I think a lot of people had to hear some of their rawness, you know what I'm saying, and understand that, the dude was different, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you can be funny and help and uplift. And I think he did that, and the other people around him felt that. And sometimes that light can be too bright for others. And I remember somebody once said this, man. It was like, sometimes some people feel like your light is for them, but when God intended it to be for the whole world,
Wow.
And that's something that people who have that type of charisma, you know what I'm saying, naturally charismatic, naturally funny, naturally able to be a philosopher, but at the same time to be a student too. Those attributes, to have that humility, when need be, but at the same time to have that type of bravado, is another thing too as well. So man, listen, that dude was a ground shaker and a pioneer as well. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the single camera shots when he would just talk to America, and
just sit on down.
That said a lot. Yeah, man. And then he would go and wake the kids up for school. They ain't want to get up. He said, "Look, I got just what it." And he came in there with a squirt gun. See, look at them. They just like cats. They can't stay in water.
Hey, you gonna make me wake my kids up that way, boy.
Hey, go ahead and do it, man. That's how Bernie did it. You want to get out of bed. You're getting out here today. Jordan. And who been in here messing with my stuff? And the kid, the little baby girl, he said, "You're getting away with this stuff now, baby girl, because you're cute. But look, I bust your head to the white meat."
White meat. Hey, that used to be a saying, boy. Look, we knew somebody was real when they say, "I'll bust your head to that white meat."
The white meat. That white meat that's a hard hit. That left a mark. You need stitches.
Look, you already knew. Hey, back in the day when you fell on the background on the ground on that bike, you saw that white meat peel back, boy. You already know that's gonna take a while.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna leave a mark.
You gonna have to look. Back in those days, they weren't using no coconut butter, no coconut oil. You know what I'm saying? They weren't using. You had that skin so soft on you. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, we used to have this. I don't know what this stuff was, man. I think it was like liquid acid. It was this orange stuff, mercurial, something like. Somebody help me out in the chat. It was like Ellison might remember. Grandma them had that orange stuff you supposed to put in. They put it in the cuts. You never got infected, dude. But that stuff's it's just like He was like you rather take the zero, man. Don't even just don't tell him it hurt. Just cover it up. You ain't want this stuff, man.
You ain't lying, boy. Them the days, man. It was you had to prepare yourself different whenever you went outside. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. I don't know what's wrong with this cup. It's leaking. I ain't got the seal on right or something.
He said, you can't have it leaking, man.
Yeah, I done blew a gasket.
You got to put a new gasket around the top of that
I put
thing.
a new gasket on there. Yeah,
you got a bad gasket, man. That thing will always leak no matter what you do.
Yeah, man, that gasket go. Hey, I gotta take this to the shop.
Sir, you know, gasket, a new oil ring on that thing.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. Put that oil ring on that. You know, that's how the mechanic talk with a cigarette hanging on. Oh, I put that thing on there. I got that thing on.
Man, look, I said, you know, you're a bad mechanic. You can smoke a cigarette and change the oil and pay at the same time, man. Ain't got to drip oil nowhere.
Let it burn all the way down.
All the way down to the rooty to the tooty, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We got
smoking the butt. Yeah, old school guys smoke them Pall Malls, you know. They ain't got no filter.
Menthol, 100 Pall Mall menthol. You know what I'm saying? I need some little oil. Like, I need some Edgefields. So what?
Oh, you way back with them Edgefields.
Hey, yeah, I need some Edge. Give me an Edgefield.
That thing, them is some chest busters.
Hey,
might as well get some Lucky Strikes.
Look, I had some of them myself, man. That's how bad it was back in the day.
Oh,
I know that's sad. Look, I'm telling you out here, like your boy Chris Rock was over here, like, I need one hit. Them Edgefields, boy, you buy a carton of Edgefield for $25, boy.
Man, cigarettes cost way too much now. Yeah, you gotta get off them cigarettes, man. Them things.
Man, listen here. Back in the day, you had people going from drive from Illinois just to come over here to St. Louis to get them doggone cartons of Edgefields and Newport 100, salt pack, hard pack, benches and hedges. You know what I'm saying? You know. You know what you know about the American Spears? You don't know about that in the yellow box.
I know about them with the Indian on it. I know about
with the little Indian on it. Man, listen here, boy. Man, look, you smoke American Spears for about 2 months, you can gargle peanut butter. I'm telling you. Hey, listen here. Listen, boy, you can suck chunky peanut butter through a goddamn coffee stirrer.
Listen, good Lord, American Spirit. They taste different. They taste like a toilet.
Man, it tastes like battery acid and antifreeze.
I know some tough girls who are rolling up in their sleeve like Snyder from One Day at a Time.
Wow.
Yeah,
man. You had to be
knockers.
Man, I'm telling you, you had to be different, boy. Them was some tough. Them days where you sit back, you're like, oh, what was I thinking? I wasn't. That's what happened. That was wrong with you, boy. You wasn't thinking too much. You see what I'm saying?
Look at you. When somebody said, look at you. Whenever somebody say, look at you.
You know that's a derogatory statement. Especially the black family. They be like, look at him over there. You're like,
look at you. You never be nothing.
Just embarrassing.
Shame. Remember this? Shame.
Now I only think about the Game of Thrones. Shame.
Red wedding.
Man. Oh man, listen here. Yeah, them iconic scenes right there, boy. It make you hold your heart, boy. You down there about to skip a beat, man. But and you got one more, man, we need to do a TO, man. Gotta get a TB could continue, man. I'm finna get ready to go ahead and do the proper.
All right, yeah,
Uh,
you get one more, and I'll get one more.
okay, okay,
All right,
okay, okay, okay. So here we go.
here we go. So
That's your
what's
boy
so
Dak,
what's
boy. All right, so I'm going to go with. We have this guy. Hmm. I see two dudes. Hmm. So this guy played basketball late 80s, early 90s.
mm-hmm.
He's not particularly known like in the media for real. But if you understood like the underground real like the underground scene of comedians, the guy by the name of Eddie Griffin to me was
I know about Eddie
hilarious. He
Griffin.
had some of the most funniest stand-ups you could ever think of. I remember we talking about the one about Jesus couldn't take a bath, so you learn how to walk on water, boy. Man, when I tell you I
Eddie
dogged
Griffin
it,
bad.
boy, hey,
He
Eddie
bad.
Griffin, man,
Eddie
was
Griffin
bad.
bad. Yeah.
That man was
My,
bad.
his
He
his Michael Jackson is impeccable.
that man, listen here, that dude was hilarious. He was funny. Um, to me, he was kind of more like I know you say Isaiah Thomas, but that dude, he was like Isaiah, you know what I'm saying? But um, I can't say Isaiah though. But he was a smaller guy in stature. He had heart. He was hilarious. I mean, people knew that when he stepped on the scene, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And so I'm going to go with Russell Westbrook,
Okay.
Eddie Griffin.
Okay. Working
You
hard.
know,
All
I
right.
think if people knew what he did on a consistent basis, as far as his comedy, a lot of people didn't like him because of things that he wouldn't compromise. Same thing about Russell Westbrook. A lot of people don't like him, but if you understand the art, the heart, the dedication, and the way that he went about his business and just off the field, he was a good dude. Eddie Griffin was. It's just that um, he didn't compromise his morals, and that producer said you'll never work in Hollywood again. And he has never worked in Hollywood again. But before then, the dude could make you laugh. He was good in movies. Deuce Bigelow, the Male Gigolo. He was in what's my movie, man? When he was dog, he was fun as I don't know what Eddie. Remember he had the pick in his head. Man,
Undercover Brother.
Undercover Brother, man.
And
He was
he
in
had some range in it too. He was, at the beginning of it, he's driving that Cadillac with the big gulp and it didn't spill as he's spinning in the gold Cadillac. And then he goes with White She Devil and switches the total up and doesn't eat. I just want a mayonnaise sandwich, range.
range, man.
range.
Like I said, he
Range.
played in a whole bunch of movies. He was in House Party. He was in the Five Heartbeats. You know what I'm saying? Fooling His Money, Black
Yeah.
Dynamite. He played in.
Uh-huh.
Um, played in a
Hamburger
movie called
Hill.
Blast. He was in Coneheads. You know what I'm saying? That was a great movie. I mean, the dude was in Jason Lyric.
He was.
The dude really was in a lot of movies before, he had that issue, you know what I mean, with
Yeah.
the other guys. And so I just wanted to give him some love because I know since he ain't on the screen like he used to be. But if you look
Mhm.
at some of his specials, man, dude was funny as I don't know what, man. And so yeah, salute to the one and only Eddie Griffin, man.
No border said Undercover Brother is underrated. That's when I found out some people didn't like mayo. I I actually
I hate
love
mayo.
mayo. I love mayo. I do.
I hate
I
mayo,
do.
man.
Yeah. A
I
lot of
hate it.
people don't like mayo. But you'll put hot sauce on anything. All right. Which hot sauce do you prefer? Texas Pete, Louisiana, Tabasco, or what's another
Frank.
hot sauce? Frank's? Okay, Frank's.
I don't like hot stuff. I just like Frank's. I like the flavor of Frank's for my fish, and my chicken. But all the other stuff, man, I don't like real spicy stuff at all. You know what I mean? So Frank's give me enough a little flavor. And other than that, I'm not a big guy when it comes to hot
Hot, hot.
stuff. You know what I mean? And the sad part was like living in the South, being so close to Louisiana, man, and having some people in my family that really likes Cajun food. I wanted to, but I couldn't take it.
It hurts you coming in and exiting.
Listen here, feel like you squatting over a volcano. Have you out here?
Like you squatting over about Cana.
Listen here, man. Listen, having you reading your psalms and going through limitations, man.
Yeah,
Weeping
boy.
and wailing.
As Damon Wayans would say, like you done talk that guac on my last ass. All
Yes,
right, my
sir.
last one for the night. We touched on it and we talked about it. There is one who could call his own shot. I hated this guy in 84, 87, but he just kept killing us. His mirror, if you will, just stood out because he was surrounded by an all-star cast, but you couldn't deny him and you won't be able to deny him. He was amongst the talented, amongst other all-time greats on a sketch comedy show, and this basketball player amongst another, a predominantly black dominated game. He stood tall and has the respect of all of them. Jim Carrey is my Larry Bird. You have to respect Jim Carrey. Everything from In Living Color to Bruce Almighty, I'm sorry, to
Yeah.
Pet Detective,
Ace Ventura.
Yes. To the
Ray
Truman
Finkel.
Show, to oh my god, this dude could do it. He
Liar,
played Andy
liar.
Kaufman, liar. His stand-up is crazy. He is just sick with it. Larry Bird could call his own shot, tell you, hey, I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna go over to that spot. I'm gonna shoot it with my left hand. It's all net. And do it to you again and again and again, and let you know how he's gonna kill you. This is how good Larry Bird was. I couldn't stand him at the time because he was killing my Lakers, but I respect him to this day. And real Lakers still respect Larry Bird. You might not like him, but you gotta respect him. And hey, Jim Carrey about the same way. If you can't respect Jim Carrey for his comic genius, that's a you problem.
Oh yeah, that dude, he
Jim
goaded,
Carrey's Larry
man.
Bird.
I would love to see Jim Carrey and Eddie Murphy do a movie together, man.
That would kill. That would
Oh
kill.
man,
That would
I can
kill.
only imagine how like iconic that would be, man. Get them two in there, Jim Carrey and Eddie Murphy, man. You can really do something. They both have range.
Yep.
They both are just magnificent in multiple things. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, I would love to see those guys go out there, playing the movie role together. But for sure, for sure.
Oh man, look what No Border said. A Hear No Evil, See No Evil remake. From taken from the old Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor.
Mr. Pryor.
Oh man, they Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor were magic, man. Going back to Stir Crazy, walking in and say, that's right, we bad. Uh-huh. And he strikes the match on the dude's chest. And so he can smoke his J. They were bad, man. They were bad. Who is Tribe? Oh, come on, Tribe.
Yeah, he trying to be funny.
Yeah, come on, Tribe. Come on, Tribe.
Just throw it out there, like chill.
Come on, Tribe.
Take a chill pill. You know what I'm saying? Take a chill.
Man, great show. We had 2 hours and 22 minutes. We got 11 hanging with us. I sure thank everybody, man. And Twin, hey, man, I've been waiting to do it with you, man. Pause. But you, my dude, you know how we go.
We still look. I know you still got the Kevin Loves of the game, the D Wades. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah,
there's still a couple more guys.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? In the cut. You know what I mean? I got a Vince Carter. You know what I'm saying?
I got Corey. Let me end the suspense. The Draymond Green of comedy is Corey Holcomb. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Corey Holcomb. He is my dude.
5150 show.
His 5150. Ladies, you probably gonna get offended. Christians who don't study and aren't secured in their Christendom, you will be offended. Other persons of other ilks will be offended, but he is so quick-witted and quick-minded, man. He's comic genius and very, very talented too. The guy can sing, produce, rap. He's bad. Donald D.C. Curry, Bernard King to me. Bill Walton, Jeff Foxworthy to me. Who else I got? You need a big man. You need a round mound of rebound. Lavelle Crawford to me.
Okay.
Those are some of my other ones. I know I left a lot on the table. And as all of you that are in the chat, y'all are doing it as I'm doing. He said Artie Lang is Dennis Rodman. That could be. Yeah, I know about Artie Lang. He used to be on Howard. Was he on Howard Stern? I remember Artie Lang. And then he had like his own show on what's that network? Dang, it ain't Peacock.
Own network.
Nah, it was like a sports network. It was before they came into play. I'm forgetting the network, but I know about Artie Lang. Artie Lang's pretty funny, man. Artie Lang's funny dude. He crazy too. Hey, what you think about the game being on Peacock? They done put a couple games on Peacock Premium.
Money.
No, man, but it ain't used to be like that, man. The playoffs supposed to be
money, man. Listen, it's all about the money, man.
They gonna make the Super Bowl.
And but they know what they did, how smart they was though.
How?
I mean, you gotta give people they props when they doing it right. So they knew to put Patrick Mahomes on Peacock, which will go force people to know it's like, oh, that Pat Mahomes. If anybody gonna be a draw, it's gonna be who? Pat Mahomes. So anybody gonna make you go spend some money to watch something happen via like a theater, which is football is like theater a little bit.
Yeah.
They put it on Peacock and say, hey, if I put the right person on here, will people go out there and look for it and then watch it? And I think that's why they did, to kind of see how they can continue to make money, not only from the Amazon Prime situation they got, but then can you say, can we split this up amongst networks where they probably just become subcontractors out to individual games and give them to the highest bidder? And if they see this one place can take it and get a high bid for it, then they'll say, well, we don't have to sit here and be in a group. We can compartmentalize, these different avenues and sell each and every last one of the different networks and make money that way. So they just trying to get the dime, man.
How much you think the Taylor Swift effect brought into it as well? Was it premeditated before the season, or
it might? I think you probably had to sign a contract like that prior, but
yeah,
when she had them numbers and they had like a 200%, increase in like jersey sales and online hits, as far as people clicking on those websites and stuff like that, they just figured, hey, while they're still together, and
yeah,
she's a she's a billionaire and she has all
yeah.
her fans with her. They say that her fans spent money. They spend money, so they was like, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to see what we can do, so see how strong the pool is.
Dang. Now all players got to go out here and get a bag, lady.
Bag
lady.
You hurt yourself. For sure.
Yeah, man. Well, it's a wonderful one, man. This one's in the books. I appreciate you. You working tomorrow?
For sure, man.
Me too. I gotta work tomorrow night.
Day, man.
But I told Brian Cope we'll hook back up next Friday night. I'll come up with a topic du jour and love it if you stop on through and let's chop it up next Friday night. I think that one's gonna be like 10 Eastern, so that's 9 to you. And I think we're just gonna do a couple hours on there too.
For sure. Look at Gammon out here. Okay, trying to a little suit on, trying to look so fresh and so clean.
I you see him. You see him with a criminal coat, with a criminal coat. Paying to watch the game with us, like we'll be able to stream the game and do commentary, and people watching will have to pay to watch that stream. That'll be dope. I'll take that loot in the way we get it. Hey, yeah.
I definitely think about doing one with my behind a paywall like Patreon, and you can go there and be so for sure. But yeah, man, it's that time of the day. I know I gotta keep this face the way it is. So I gotta keep them I gotta get that them Z's in, you know how I feel me?
Yeah, go ahead and do that, man. Thank everybody for dropping in with us, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Drop Twin Empire. And what else you got there?
Nah, just make sure y'all press that like button. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like and subscribe, please.
Right there.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell 2 or 3 friends. When it's TNT get together, it is dynamite. Twin Empire. I am Terradome. He is Twin Empire. And remember, everybody, we walk by faith and not by sight. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank y'all again so much. Check y'all out later.